right, well, we just pulled James's 93 1500 GMC Z71, this OBS truck, out for the first time. And this has our new Super Duty swap kit in it. We like to call this a 6-inch swap kit. It may sit a little higher than 6, up to 7 inches. So basically this has your 05 and up Super Duty axle put in here. And it's running 10-inch travel, 2.5-inch Fox coilovers. And in here you can see our frame plates, our shock towers, and the track bar bracket. And then this is our heavy duty track bar with our drag link that goes to the Super Duty axle. He chose to go with the Fox dual steering stabilizer kit. And this truck actually has an ARB and 488s installed in it. You can see our radius arms tucked in here. And if you reach way underneath and take a peek, you can see that super clean cross member just bolts right in. Makes your job easy. We topped it off with a 1350 CV driveline in there to hold this thing together. So it's a common misperception that radius arms don't flex. Well, here we are standing in front of this truck, and as you can see, it is flexing. Radius arms do have a calculated amount of bind, which helps it drive good, handle good, but also gives it stability on and off road so that you can be comfortable driving it. So, I mean, you look behind me, this thing is completely twisted up, everything working well. The 63's dropped out so far that the shackle is almost perfectly in line with the leaf spring, which is exactly what you're looking for when you want stuff to droop out. So I think with this truck on 37s, 488s, ARBs front and rear, not only is it going to do this and flex well, but he's going to be able to get in this and drive it down the road and be super comfortable. So I can't wait to get in this and take it on a test drive, see what it feels like. Well, before we take it on the test drive, there was a couple more things we had to button up, so we figured we'd do that first. So to start with, the shocks weren't in yet, so we just tucked the shocks in. And these are 2.0 remote reservoir, 12-inch travel Fox shocks. And we put the factory bar pins in up here, so the shocks go in the factory locations. The only thing we changed is new lower shock mounts, because this is a different axle out of a newer model truck. So you can see also while it's up in the air here that Mitch just finished hooking up the low car e-brake cables. So this is a low car universal kit that hooks right in on the factory drum e-brake on this disc brake axle. Got that all hooked up, the brakes work great. One other thing that we just did is the 37s on this thing, as low as it sits and how much it tucks, did rub a little on the fenders. So if you come in here and look, Mitch did a super clean job trimming the fender. There was about 1.5 inches more fender here. So he trimmed it, and then look right back here, the strut. He unbolted the strut and moved it back and tied it back on so it's rigid again. So we had to trim the back of the rear fenders. And then if you sneak up here, on the front, you can see, starting from right about here, trim that fender down and then tuck the factory inner fender well back in. And then up on the front bumper, took a nice cut on the front bumper here, on the valence, just a little bit up here. So 37s, tucking all the way in, turning all the way both directions, now don't rub anymore. And as you see from back there, you can't really tell what we had to do. Came out really clean. Well, while it's up on the rack, let's take a peek underneath here and you can kind of see everything firsthand. So you can see way in the back here, this is one thing you'll have to do is change the head pipe just slightly so the front driveline doesn't hit. So that's a 1350 CV front driveline on the 241C. We got the Fox dual steering stabilizers, and we're sitting at full droop here, and there's 10-inch travel shocks in the front, so there's quite a bit of droop. So now we'll set this thing down on the ground and go take her for a test drive and see how she drives. Dude, this thing turns killer. That's one of the best parts about doing the solid axle swap. Just like I thought. This thing is awesome. Reminds me of my 89 GMC Big Blue. A lot of people have seen that thing. I don't think it really could have got any better with the Super Duty axle, the coilovers. Rides killer down the highway, nice and smooth. I know he's going to be really excited to have this thing. Till the next one.